We live our lives on a digital stage. We perform our friendships, our family connections, and our professional selves for an audience we can't fully see. We post a photo of a birthday cake and the likes pour in. We share a small victory at work and congratulatory comments appear. This stage feels like a community square, a place of connection and shared experience. We have come to believe that our devices are neutral tools, simple conduits for our intentions. They are phones, laptops, tablets, objects we hold in our hands. But this perception obscures a more complex reality. The stage itself is not passive. It has directors, producers, and a hidden crew working behind the curtain, shaping what we see and how we feel. These platforms are not just empty spaces. They are intricate systems designed with specific goals in mind, primarily engagement and profit. How does a machine recruit an army? It does so by appealing to our most human instincts, often without our conscious awareness. It starts subtly. An emotionally charged post appears on your feed, telling a one-sided story of betrayal or injustice. The post is designed to provoke a reaction: anger, sympathy, a desire to help. You might leave a supportive comment or share the post believing you are standing up for someone who has been wronged. In that moment, without realizing it, you may have just enlisted. This process is scaled up dramatically through the use of bots and coordinated campaigns. Bots can be programmed to like, share, and comment on specific content, creating a false sense of popular support. When real users see a post with thousands of likes and supportive comments, they are more likely to believe it and join in. The platform's algorithm sees this surge of engagement and promotes the content even more widely. Even employees within tech companies can become unwitting participants. A content moderator working under immense pressure to review thousands of posts a day might follow a rigid set of rules that inadvertently favor an abuser. A target who tries to defend themselves with angry language might have their post removed for violating community standards, while the abuser's more subtly coded gaslighting posts remain online. We have been taught to equate digital visibility with genuine connection. This is the heart of what I call faux connection. It is the feeling of closeness we get from interacting with someone's curated online persona. An abuser exploits this masterfully. They perform a version of themselves that is charming, vulnerable, and relatable. Their followers develop a one-sided relationship with this persona. This faux connection is sustained by surveillance intimacy. This is the sense of knowing someone deeply simply because you have access to a constant stream of their data. You see when they are online, what they like, who they follow, and where they check in. For a target of digital abuse, this becomes a nightmare. The abuser and their followers can track their every digital move. A simple like on a post can be interpreted as a betrayal. The target feels watched, their every action scrutinized for meaning, turning their own social media presence into a cage. The goal is to make the target feel that they are always being watched, that there is no escape. They don't see themselves as harassers. They see themselves as mediators, trying to mend a broken heart they only know through the abuser's carefully crafted performance. We think of algorithms as neutral sorters of information, designed to show us what we want to see. But in the context of digital abuse, they can become powerful tools of isolation. I call this the social isolation algorithm. It works by creating a personalized reality for both the abuser and the target, reinforcing their separation from one another and from a shared objective truth. For the abuser's followers, the algorithm detects their engagement and feeds them more of the same, creating an echo chamber where the abuser's narrative is the only one they hear. As the campaign gains traction, the algorithm may push this content toward the target as well. They are forced to see posts mocking them, comments from strangers dissecting their life. At the same time, if the target tries to speak out, their posts may receive little engagement and the algorithm may demote their content. This creates a digital reality where the target feels completely alone, even when surrounded by a network of friends. They know the attacks are happening, but their attempts to get help seem to scream into a void. The machine does not intend to isolate, it simply does so as a byproduct of its primary function. Outrage, conflict, and drama are highly engaging. The platform rewards the behavior that fuels the abuse because that behavior is good for business. In our networked world, visibility feels like a currency. We strive to be seen. But what happens when that visibility is turned against us? I call this false visibility. It is a spotlight that does not illuminate truth, but instead projects a distorted image for public consumption and judgment. An abuser can seize control of a target's narrative by taking things out of context, and weaving them into a new damning story. This story is then relentlessly promoted across platforms. Privacy is not about having something to hide. It's about having a self to preserve. The erosion of privacy online becomes a powerful weapon of control. Every piece of shared data becomes a potential vulnerability. An abuser can use publicly available information to piece together a detailed picture of a target's life. The goal is to make the target feel that they are always being watched, that there is no escape. This slow theft of the private self is profoundly damaging. The target begins to self-censor, not just online, but in their own thoughts. The constant fear of being monitored leads to hypervigilance and psychological exhaustion. Privacy is the soil in which autonomy grows. When that soil is stripped away, our ability to be free, independent individuals is critically undermined. When we think of warfare, we imagine soldiers and tanks. But today, some of the most effective battles are fought with data, and the targets are our minds. Data warfare is the strategic use of information to achieve a goal. An abuser can act as a personal intelligence agency, collecting data not just from the target's profile, but from their friends, their family, and public records. They build a dossier, a collection of vulnerabilities. This information is then used to conduct small-scale psychological operations. A classic psyop tactic is to create confusion and sow distrust. An abuser might create fake profiles to spread rumors or send messages that seem to come from a third party. Another powerful tactic is gaslighting, amplified by data. They could subtly edit a screenshot of a past conversation to change its meaning, then present it as evidence that the target is misremembering an event. The goal of these psyops is not just to win an argument, but to achieve information dominance. The abuser seeks to become the sole author of reality for the target. They want to control what the target sees, who they trust, and what they believe. It is a form of cognitive and emotional warfare, waged on the battlefield of our everyday digital lives. The experience of being a target of digital abuse is not a fleeting annoyance. It is a profound and often prolonged form of psychological torment. The most pervasive feeling is overwhelming shame. This shame is often internalized, leading to self-blame. They ask themselves, "What did I do to deserve this? Why did I share so much online?" This shame can be paralyzing, preventing them from seeking help. Isolation is the twin of shame. Friends may pull away, either because they believe the abuser's narrative, because they fear becoming targets themselves, or simply because they do not see the target's cries for help. Living under constant surveillance and attack forces a person to shrink. They become smaller, quieter, more cautious. Their digital presence, once a source of community and self-expression, becomes a source of fear. The picture I have painted is bleak, but we are not powerless. Reclaiming our digital spaces begins with recognizing the manipulation for what it is. When you encounter a highly emotional story online, pause. Ask yourself, who benefits from my outrage? We must take practical steps to protect ourselves. Use strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication, review your privacy settings, and be mindful of what you share. Think of your data as currency. Spend it wisely. Encourage your friends and family to do the same. A community that values privacy is more resilient to manipulation. If you find yourself under attack, prioritize your safety. Document everything, but do not engage with the mob. Finally, we must advocate for a better digital world. We need platforms designed not just for engagement, but for human dignity. We built this digital world, and we can rebuild it. It begins with our own small, deliberate actions and the commitment to connect with each other as whole human beings.